Take the bus to your graduation, Dad said, eyes glued to his phone. We have to take your brother car shopping that morning. He wants the new Tesla. I stood in our museum bright kitchen, invitation sharp in my hand. 4 years with a perfect GPA at Stanford Business while building in secret, and somehow I was still the flexible one. It's my graduation, I said. From Stanford. With honors. Mom adjusted a vase that didn't need adjusting. Mira, sweetheart, impressions matter for Ethan. He just made junior partner. Impressions, always impressions. Ethan, framed in designer wool and courtroom charm, owned the family mantle. I was the daughter who'd stepped off the safe law track into code and prototypes. An inconvenient experiment. The bus stops right at campus, Dad added. It's not like you have anyone special coming. No boyfriend, no big job. If only they'd asked. Fine, I said, and left them to their showroom morning. Back in my Palo Alto apartment, the screens woke. Crypto greened, another billion after our cross-border platform spiked overnight in Seoul. Executive messages stacked. Integration closed, patents cleared, Asia servers stable. Iris, my AI chief of staff, chimed. Miss Lang board at 9 tomorrow. Forbes requests confirmation for the 30 under 30 cover. 24, net worth, 13.8, pre-market. 3 days out, Mom called. Ethan's Tesla needed custom modifications. Don't worry, I said. The bus runs on time. They didn't know the dean had my statement queued, or that the Wall Street Journal would drop the story right after the ceremony. Graduation morning, at first light, I slid a Chanel suit beneath my robe, muted congratulations from CEOs and ministers, and reached for the Bugatti keys, not the bus pass. Stanford's quad glowed new under a blue sky. I parked 2 blocks away, let the robe fall to my wrists, and walked in with the early crowd. Families poured past in bursts of pride. On cue, a graphite Tesla nosed to the curb. My parents climbed out with Ethan, all 3 radiant, angled toward the glass. They didn't clock me as I slipped behind the graduates' banner. The band tuned, rows settled. I could see our section from the aisle. Dad checking stocks, Mom palming Ethan's key fob like a talisman, Ethan framing selfies with the car in the background. I kept my phone face down. Iris whispered, "Press team confirmed. WSJ embargo lifts at noon. The dean has your line." Speeches moved like weather, clouds, a donor thunderclap, then sun. Dean Carr took the podium and cleared his throat. Before degrees are conferred, a special recognition. A ripple. My pulse steadied. The air crackled with a hush that felt electric. Among you sits the youngest self-made billionaire in modern tech. At 24, she has driven advancements in quantum compute, blockchain rails, and applied AI. Her companies employ over 20,000 worldwide. Please join me in recognizing Mira Lang. For a second, the whole hall inhaled. Dad's phone lowered, Mom's program slipped. Ethan stopped recording mid-smirk. Applause broke like surf. I stood. On the screens, photos spooled, data centers, patents, prototypes, the sole ribbon-cutting, my teams. And, the dean added over the noise, Miss Lang has become our largest private donor with a $2 billion gift to engineering and research. I stepped onto the stage, robe settling like armor. Lights warmed my face. Thank you, I said into the hush, and let the story begin. I spoke about work done in the shadows, how a dorm room algorithm became rails for cross-border payments, how a failed prototype taught us to cool qubits, how teams in 3 time zones taught me to listen fast, laughter when I said I sometimes took the bus to stay grounded, a hush when the stock price flashed on the screen. I closed with the gift, not spectacle, in gratitude for the lab benches that kept me up at 2 a.m. after. The lawn turned into a lens. Photographers angled me beside the Bugatti. Students swarmed with caps like birds. I saw my parents and Ethan approach, as if the grass might tilt. Mira, Mom said, mascara streaking. How long? Years, I said. While you chased impressions, I built results. Dad swallowed. We were wrong. We should have asked. You could start now. Ethan fiddled with the fob. I offered you rides, he muttered. I had a driver, I said. And meetings. Iris buzzed in my ear. Musk at 5, Sol wants a debrief, WSJ is live. Dinner tonight, I told them. 7, I'll fly Nana in, she wrote my first check. Nana knew, Mom blinked. She asked. They stood there, pride mixed with something like awe. It wasn't revenge, it was recognition finally landing. Reporters thinned, the sun slid down the quad, slow and golden. At 7, my penthouse windows held the campus in miniature, lights like sequins. We ate simple food at a long table. I walked them through the first seed round, the first outage, the first patent. Dad listened, not calculating, listening. Mom squeezed my hand. To buses and benches, I said, raising a glass, and to building while the world shows off its cars.